Hello world, my name is James Rhinus and I'm super fired up to be back here with you guys. This is number 6. I can't believe we made it down this far. 2 more to go, so really happy that you guys have enjoyed the journey with us. Guys, it's just been overwhelming and amazing, all the likes and shares. I never thought it would go this way, and so just big thanks to everybody that's been out there and just giving us feedback. Thanks a stack. Guys, today my topic is how to get yourself promoted. Now, it's quite funny because there are a big portion of the guys that are watching and been giving us feedback that are obviously working in corporate jobs, a couple of sports guys, but also there's a couple of people in startups and perhaps in their own businesses. So I want you to contextually take this and say, well, if I'm in that space, then it's how do you get yourself promoted within the organization or the sports rank that you're in, or perhaps it's in your own business and you need to promote yourself, okay, through your business out that. So just contextually work with me as I rip out some insights for you. All right, so the first one I need you to know is to get yourself promoted, there's only one person that can get you promoted, okay, and that's you. Now, sounds a bit weird, and maybe that's maybe a little bit way out there, but hear me what I'm saying this, is that gone are the days that someone else is going to promote you. Maybe 30 years ago, 20 years ago, maybe even 10 years ago, old school, some guy would promote you if you were someone's favorite and you knew someone that knew someone, then they would perhaps look at promoting you. What I'd also like you to know is that if you're in an environment or a job or a sports role or whatever you're in, and you're thinking, well, I've got all the intellectual property, these guys need me, these guys, I'm definitely the next guy to get promoted. And I've heard so many stories, guys, hear me out here. I've heard so many stories about people that come and they'll say, well, geez, I don't know what happened there. I was the next guy on the row and suddenly in comes Mr. New Guy. Sound familiar? Well, here's the thing, is that if you are thinking that you are going to get the next role, you're probably pretty complacent and you're probably feeling quite entitled. Now, I'm sharing this with you because I honestly, truly care about you winning and your success. So hear me out. If you're sitting in a role where you think these guys need me and I will definitely get promoted, you need to watch the end of this video. All right. So now, some of you are going to tell me a whole bunch of things and you're probably sitting there thinking, oh, you know, my boss, he's such a beep, or my coach is such a beep. And you're going to be blaming a whole bunch of things. There's no ways I'm going to get promoted. The boss likes this person, the coach likes that person. Guys, this is all excuses and you need to be conscious of it. It's just being excuses. Go back and watch episode 3 of ours and you're going to see a nice piece on excuses. So guys, don't get into that mode of being excuse focused. All right. Hear me out. All right. Don't blame your environment. Don't blame your boss. Okay. Okay guys, so here's a key little piece that you need to get. You got to love what you do or else you ain't going to get promoted. Hear me? You got to love what you do. So you can't be faking it. You got to love what you do. I want to tell you a beautiful story. I actually wrote this post a good couple of years ago. But I've followed this specific guy's journey. So I travel through an international airport relatively often, probably once or twice a month. And I met a guy, and the only reason I met him and I wrote about him was I wrote the title, The Boarding Pass Guy. Now imagine a busy international airport where you're winding through the check-in and you're hearing a voice, you're hearing some joy, you're hearing some energy. And I was quite intrigued as to what that was. And here's this guy standing, swiping the boarding passes. You know, the guy that puts a little scan and goes beep, beep, and he checking the guy. But this guy, what he was doing, he was just having an amazing day. All right. What he was doing was every time he would see someone coming and the queue was snaking, he was already identifying who was coming. And he was the only guy that I know that can pull off comments like, he would say to the young ladies, whoa, hello my princess. To the older guys, hello my king. He would say to the guys, he would observe everybody's shoes, and he was really just customer focused. So by the time you've come out of something really as mundane as standing in a waiting queue to get onto an airplane, this guy had changed your day. He changed the experience and he changed the day. And I was so impressed with this guy that I wrote a piece on the boarding pass guy and how I got schooled by him in just how my day was going compared to this guy's day. And he was really doing a mundane, repetitive job, but really just fired up about it. Fast forward the story, and about 3 weeks ago I went through the same international airport, and I asked the guy that was in the space, you know, where was the other guy that used to make all the cocky comments and always really happy, and he said, well, he's been promoted. And I said, whoa, that's beautiful news. Now, I didn't get the technical details of where he'd been promoted to, but here's a guy who's really taken what he's loved, he's taken it to the next level, he's gone out of his way, and he's been promoted just by his actions. No one was going to go promote him. He had to promote himself. And it's just such a wonderful story that I love to share, because this is a real tangible way of doing it. But you've got to love what you do, or else you're not going to get promoted. So guys, if you really want a promotion, or you really want to promote yourself out there, okay, it's going to take some level of effort, it's going to take some level of energy. Okay, and there's a couple of other key things it's going to take, because it's not just going to land in your lap. And I've spoken to, it doesn't matter what age you are, what part of your journey you are, whether it be young, old, might be a really CEO position that you're trying to get into, or maybe just a junior startup through a grad program. There's a couple of key things, because remember, you're not alone. You might think you're alone, but if you're trying to get into the next CEO role or into the next grad program, there's probably 1,000 other people trying to get into the same role. So here's what you got to know. It's going to take some time, and it's going to take some effort. And I say time, and I'm being very deliberate about the word time. When you wake up, at whatever time you wake up, and I know a lot of people that are just getting up when the alarm clock goes off, all right? But that's what everybody's doing. You want to be getting up an hour earlier. You want to find out what the other guys are doing, getting up an hour earlier than they are. Why? So you can do some leadership development, you can do some finds, you can go do some research on what it is you're trying to get promoted into. Maybe it's a topic that you need to get more obsessed about, right? You need to be super focused. Your energy will flow into the place where your focus goes. So make sure you're super focused. And you have to be committed. Don't be hot and cold. You've got to be committed 999,000% every single day, committed to what it is you're going to. So if you want to be promoted within a team, if you want to promote your product, whether you want to be promoted yourself, you've got to be very clear about what that looks like, right? And there's going to be a lot of sacrifice, guys. There's going to be a lot of sacrifice. I spoke to a young crew of people this morning, and I was talking about the word sacrifice. Sacrifice is that thing that you, or when you're young or when you're old, doesn't matter, is when everybody else is out partying and clubbing, or out watching a movie, or out sleeping on a Saturday afternoon. You are grinding. You're grinding and you're delivering. Now, it's very important that you know that this promotion is going to come with sacrifice, because the guys that are pushing themselves into that space, those are the guys that are going to get promoted. Those are the guys that can promote. Okay, and you're going to have to put yourself out there. Guys, most people don't just walk around thinking, oh, there's a guy I want to promote, or there's a person I want to promote. You need to tell the person that it is the most critical in that food chain that you're trying to get through. They need to be clear on what you're going after. All right, so you got to ask yourself, if you're trying to get promoted to a team manager position, for example, does the person that knows or is going to be recruiting, or is going to be that person's report, do they know that you want that role? And do they know how badly you want it? And do they know what you're willing to go after for that thing? They must be clear. Okay guys, so as I always say, there's 3 important things that I'm going to leave with you this week, so that you can go over and reflect on and really focus and get really stealth on. The first thing this week I want to talk to you about is you need to start doing the stuff, the tough stuff that no one else wants to do. All that ugly stuff that no one wants to do, you put your hand up and you get involved and you get it done. You deliver that big green frog, you start eating him, you get him out of the way, because people will start noticing. The small things like that is the big things that get noticed. The second thing I want you to do is I want you to put your hand up and be bold about that. I don't care if you're an introvert, I don't care if you sit behind a computer the whole day, you need to put your hand up. But do it in your own way, but be bold about it. Imagine this, if you're an introvert and you're just sitting behind your desk and not getting involved, and you walked up to the person that's looking for the next person in that space, and you put your hand up and you said, listen, I want to just tell you that I'm the best person in this space, people will take notice. Why? Because you're being bold and you're putting your hand up. And the third piece I want to leave you is be relentless in making other people successful. All right, hear me out here. A lot of people that are trying to get successful are normally the people that are standing on other people's heads to try to get themselves to another level. Okay, it doesn't work like that. You need to be clear and focused here. Listen to what I'm saying. Is if you start making other people successful, then you've got a pack. You've got a pack of people that are going to support you. So if the person that's recruiting or is looking for the next person in that space says, can we all take a vote on who is the best team manager? What are they going to say? They're all going to put their hands up and they say, that guy there, you are the person for the job. Why? Because you made them successful. Don't be self-centered. No one promotes self-centered people. Okay guys, so you got those 3 points. I want you to, if you've missed them, just replay it a little bit. But guys, I want you to focus on that this week, and I want you all to be successful. So remember, go all in this week or don't go in at all. I'll see you next week for episode 7. Have a wonderful week.